Good morning and welcome to our Lunch and Learn series with Right Care Ministries. We're so glad to have Randy Bartosh back today. Our subject today is how to stay safe as we age. This is very important to all of us and important to our families. And saying that, we want to invite you to bring your families with you next week. Just let us know so we'll have enough lunches for everyone because next week we will be doing partnering with your family. There are flyers that were included in the service bulletin today and then also here, and we'll get these out to you as well. Randy, we're so glad you're here. Thank you.
Thanks, y'all. It's great to be back. Raise your hand again for me if you were here either of the first two lectures. Raise your hand. Okay. And then raise your hand if you've never seen me before. Raise your hand. Okay, there's a few of us. All right. This is pretty exciting today. Before I get started, I wanted to, everybody was here last week for quality of life, I just pulled one of my weeks from you fill out all the things that you like to do at the bottom, and then you start making sure that you put in a certain amount. So for this week, I did 22 different things 57 times, as an example. Yeah. Well, some of them are smoking cigars, so it's not like it's that many. But coffee and cigars. Let's see, though. Gosh, y'all, it's been a while. I'm afraid to actually click these buttons. I don't know what's going to show up. Hold on. Okay. Now, how cute. Mm-hmm. Yeah. No. Bathing grandbabies has got to be on the list, right? Oh, okay. The baby wasn't talking, but can y'all hear me? Okay. That was a cute one. Oh, I got grandbabies all over this one. Okay. So 22, if you can't tell, but up there, number 22 on my grid is baby girl. So like number 26 was my son finishing a race. Half Ironman. I actually snuck him in illegally. He was too young for the event, but I forged some documents. Nobody needs to repeat that. Look at him. Woo. It's a little half Ironman. Oh, how fun. Okay, there's me working. I am in my pajamas. I didn't know I was going to be in my pajamas when I clicked that number. I know everybody has fishing on their list of 50 things they like to do. A little travel. So each one of these things are things that I enjoy. I just took pictures of them so I could document my week as an example. So 2256, I hit it out of the park. As we get older, you want to be intentional about making sure that you're doing things that you enjoy and that engage you, and that you have kind of a well balance of them, just like healthy eating. Your activities, you want to make sure you're engaged and challenged emotionally, spiritually, cognitively, physically. So that's just a little follow-up from last week's. And to make it kind of bright and cheery, because the topic we're going to be talking about today could be a little scary. It's about safety. Dun, dun, dun. So this is going to make a lot less scary after today. I'm going to show y'all something y'all are not aware of. Listen to this brief commercial from the city. I hope you're going to be able to hear it.
Firefighters and paramedics are on the front lines of emergency care for seniors in our community.
With every call to a senior's home or care facility, we come face to face with unsafe occurrences that could have been prevented. These unsafe occurrences are putting our seniors' lives at risk and others in the community while putting undue strain on departmental resources.
While we are running on lift assist, emergent patients wait for the next available unit while critical minutes pass.
But we are not alone in our fight for Mr. and Mrs. Smith. We and our community partners can collaborate to reduce risk and improve our efficiency.
Home Safe Home is the solution that saves lives by focusing on the needs of our seniors instead of business interests.
We are a community-based program that includes faith organizations, healthcare providers, senior living care providers, fire departments, and emergency responders, all joining forces to become the solution.
Home Safe Home uses the Right Care methodology, which is based on more than 20 years of research with over 300 organizations involving 75,000 senior lives. It is the largest research collaborative of its kind.
Our Home Safe Home program provides training, methodology, tools, and support to the organizations involved in turning outcomes that make a difference into a reality.
This collaborative platform allows first responders to change a caller's trajectory from injury and failure to health and success.
Reducing unnecessary calls makes our department more efficient and effective, while saving lives and improving the quality of life for the seniors in our community.
We all deserve better.
We all deserve
a safe home.
How fun is that? So everything guess where they got their Home Safe Home program from? Well, from our Episcopal diocese. Okay. So we've done the research over the last 20 years, and now fire departments all over the country are waiting their turn to get access to it. So Scottsdale is where we finished the betas. We've got Galveston County Health District is technically already live. I've got Tomball and Houston EMS, or Northwest EMS coming up next, and then we'll keep coming around this way with the fire departments. So the safety things we're going to be talking about today is the foundation of the fire department's program. So you can get access to this either through us, you get a little extra, all right, but pretty soon you'll be able to access the fire department, and then the fire department will be able to access our churches and our programming for it. It's pretty exciting.
Randy, I want to say something about that. One of the things about partnering with our local fire departments, whether it's here at Emmanuel in our area or the other churches that have this opportunity, is Bishop Doyle has talked to us about find where God is working in the community and join that. Look for those places where God is active. We know that Jesus had a healing ministry. He also encouraged us to live in good health and well-being and to support one another in that work. So we can see how that work partnering with fire departments to help keep people safe and secure is also our work. And so it's really helpful. We don't have to be the fire department, but we can partner with them and help offer healing and wholeness to people through that work. So thinking about partnerships always is a really helpful thing. So
thank you. I really like working with the fire departments because they don't care who gets the credit. They're looking for community capital, people who they can work with to help drive the common mission. So that's been really neat for the last decade to figure this out with them. All right, so let's dive in. How do we stay safe as we age? I hope y'all don't mind also if I use y'all as an example later, towards the end of this. Is that okay? If I use you just a little? All right. They're the perfect example of what you should do. I'll get to that in a minute. So one of our little quotes that Rev reminded me of is, this is Dr. Merkel's. He's, I think, going to actually be giving the medical condition management as we get older. What's the state of the industry? What do you need to know to protect yourself from all the medications people keep giving you? I think he's a quadruple board certified geriatrician now. He works with Medicare. He's in the top levels. Well, he'll be giving the lecture. All right. I forget it's on here somewhere in the next week or three. Okay. So in our research and observation, the biggest error people make, the error that causes so much pain and loss, is that they wait until after the unsafe occurrence happens to step in and intervene. And many times, not until the third, fourth, or fifth one. They wait until you fall and break something, or you fall multiple times before you finally get it through your noggin, I need to do something. Being proactive is key here. If y'all remember on the first time I was here, I mentioned, that's kind of called motivated by crisis, and as Episcopalians, I think we're the worst. We really, really wait until the bad things happen. Do you remember this one too? We kind of just adjust to each one of the little things that are happening. We just accommodate to it, week after week, month after month, year after year, and we don't realize that our threat level is getting higher and higher because we live with it every day. And you all know as we get older, we have to make accommodations. It almost feels like monthly to something new, a new ache and pain, a new doctor visit. So normative creep can be a barrier. And here's a question, and Lance, I appreciate you letting me borrow one of your younger pictures. Do we typically go from this to this, or would it be a different direction as we age? It would be that. Okay. Y'all, there is not a pill. If you are blessed to live long enough, one of the prices you pay is your body's going to wear out. And as your body wears out, certain things become a risk that were not a risk before. You are not doing yourself, your family, you're not making it any easier on them by being stubborn. I'm not talking about any men in the room right now, though. We're not doing anybody any good by being stubborn and living in denial about it. You have to make the accommodations if you want to live well or successfully. The challenge is that even if you wanted to right now, you can't even get access to good information about what you need to do. And that's why we're here as a part of the Right Care Ministry, is we've got good information, good education, and good solutions for those challenges. I'm going to do a quick review of some risks, just to shake you up a little bit and to frame it. Now remember, it looks different for everybody. Everybody has their own risks as they get older. Y'all may remember, this was in almost 2001. We took 987 patients from the Memorial Hermann Healthcare System right here in our area. This one was from Memorial City, who ended up coming in because he had a heart attack, a type of cardiac event that caused brain damage from lack of oxygen. So he's very confused, kind of like dementia. He ends up at our acute care hospital, our long-term care, and then our skilled nursing facility. Now he got back home with home health. And then we asked the treating teams what happened to him in front of the kitchen sink, because he's very confused. He's the guy that would wander away if we didn't lock the door. Has full-time supervision from the wife, and we asked the treating teams what happened to him in front of the kitchen sink. I think if y'all remember, I think I shared this, is he didn't slip on the water in front of the kitchen sink. He got a little more creative. He got under the sink and drank the poison. And it took him 4 months to die in the Memorial Hermann Healthcare System from drinking the poison. He never came home again. It was awful. He finally went septic and died. There were 4 different healthcare teams treating him, and not one of them thought to childproof the house with the cognitive impairment. Now, what percentage of all the people living with dementia within 5 miles of this church, how many of them right now have access to poison in their home? All of them. It doesn't change even if healthcare is involved. If you have home health out there, if you go see your doctor, nobody's even bothered to help them age successfully by avoiding unsafe occurrences. Okay. I forgot to put your purple Fabuloso out on the tables so you could pour it. That looks like grape juice, doesn't it? And do you know that Home Depot now has the apple juice version too? If you have dementia, that's going to look like grape juice. It actually already does. I'm thirsty. Yeah. Visual foreground of people with bad vision, and if it's not something you're used to every day, can be a problem. I'm going to get into some new ones here in a minute. Dementia and access to your medications, bad idea. Dementia's just got a lot of risks with it. And if you do not, we used to wear undershirts because a lot of times we wear scrubs during the day, and our undershirt, we had one that we all wore for like 3 years, and it said, because we were just quoting what we heard over and over and over in the research from the adult children, which is, well, they never did that before. So with dementia, you have to stay a couple steps ahead of what they might do. They're always doing new behaviors. So safety is the likelihood of an unsafe occurrence happening, right? If you think about it, how safe is mom? What we're really asking is how likely is she to have an unsafe occurrence? What we did is we picked up 32,000 seniors around the country that had an unsafe occurrence and went to the hospital. We went to the homes and did a root cause analysis of what contributed to the unsafe occurrence. It is the most research ever done on senior safety in the world. You hear about those rugs? Yeah, I mean, you know. So I remember one of the husbands one time out off of Gessner said, the wife said, I've had that rug almost as long as I've had him. We're not moving the rug. This was after he broke his arm from the fall. That was awesome. You know, there's this thing called, if your decisions do not match your values, if your decisions do not match your values, what is the problem? What's the gap? What's causing that gap? Your understanding of the problem. So a lot of times it falls on us to help you realize, like, make your choice. Do you want to lose 3 years? Do you want an additional 3 years of pain, less quality of life, less independence, or do you want to move the rug? This may only be 3% chance of causing it. You decide. But when you add the little things up, it turns into 40% chance. You have to accommodate to getting older with some common sense strategies. Y'all can say amen anytime if you want. It helps encourage the men in here to potentially use their common sense. Amen. Oh, trust me, women can be just as stubborn. Okay, here we go. Hold on, let me get to put a couple new ones in here. Hold on. Oh, here's an easy example. Yeah. Okay, so this one right here was, she had the attack door. So when she went outside, her door, these are attack doors. It has a pneumatically assisted attack on it. The storm door. So, yeah. It was statistically significant in the risks. We found enough. And then, boy, in our research, we're so smart, we disconnected the pneumatic device so it's not trying to close on her without realizing that the wind will just then slam it on her. Yeah. You don't know how many people had to suffer unfortunate events for us to learn while trying to figure out what the solutions are. So you get to learn from 30,000 other seniors so you don't have to make the same mistakes. In fact, let me just call the number. The end of the game here is if you're smart and you just listen to common sense, you can have 72% fewer unsafe occurrences. 72% fewer. Yes, ma'am.
So what is the solution on the attack door?
What's the solution on the attack door? That's a great question. At the end of the day, the safest thing is to remove it. The screen door, or the what do we call them? Storm door. Is to remove it. It's just a hassle. If you have an assisted device and you're trying to get in and out, or you have any kind of impaired mobility, over at Tom Hall Assembly of God, one of the guys was, so Debbie was out at the house kind of doing a little assessment, and she just mentioned to him, and he's like, nah, blah, blah, blah. Literally the next week he showed up with this huge gash in his forehead from the storm door that got him. Yeah. Well, the real solution is just have one of us come out and do an assessment and make sure that it really needs to be removed. And then the other risks, because y'all, it's not just one risk, it's the cumulative risk, which I'll explain in just a minute. It's not one thing, it's when there's 40 or 50 things, is when you start, the odds are no longer in your favor. And again, I'm talking about different people with different levels of safety or need. But that's a pretty common one, or should be a pretty common one, is a tub bench so that you don't have to stand up and step into or out of your bathtub or over that 7-inch step into your shower. I'm just giving you some examples of where people have unsafe occurrences. And then non-skid tape. Raise your hand if you have ever fallen in your shower or right outside of your shower sober. Raise your hand. Okay, so y'all look around, because there's only two kinds of people in the world. Those who have fallen in their shower and those who are gonna fall in their shower. Statistically, it's pretty scary. It's pretty scary. It's one of your top places to fall, right? But you're as likely to fall just outside of your shower as you are on the inside. And as a lot of us know, as we get older, we do not fall as gracefully. It hurts a lot worse. It really does. So one of the little common types of solutions, even though I just want you to see, like, for everything, we have like 4 or 5 different solutions, and so families can pick which one they like the most. At a certain point, it just makes sense. So you can sit on the edge of your bench, slide over, you can stay seated while you're bathing, dry off, and get up. You don't know how many times I've seen this. So I've been in probably several thousand homes with it, doing assessments and things. When you use your towel rack to get up from, see that? It is not a grab rail, but it is until it isn't. See that all the time.
Or your toilet paper holder.
Toilet paper holder. No, seriously, yeah, they'll grab the edge of it to help pull. You'll use whatever you've got. And the problem is we habituate ourselves. We get used to doing something, we accommodate, we'll learn to twist or push a little harder or grab the edge of the door to get up, all these different things. And I always hear, well, I'm getting it done. Okay, is that the goal? Just to get it done, or to get it done safely and easily? Just something to think about. Just so y'all know, I'm 55. I already have a bidet and a toilet seat. My life is better. The only problem, so that you can just put in this was an example, you just put in a grab bar instead of the towel rack. It looks very similar. Then we just have to make sure they don't grab the towel. You'd be amazed at how simple many of the risks are that cause so much catastrophic pain and suffering. Raise your hand if you take more than 4 pills. Yeah. Yep. So polypharmacy, y'all definitely come to the Merkel's show on managing medical conditions. Polypharmacy is a big one. There's so many medications that are still given to our seniors, given to anybody 65 and older, that they should not be taking. And they sure shouldn't be taken in conjunction with the other medications they're taking. It is insane. Over and over and over, all the time. At least 90% of the people that have ever been out to their homes are on things that they should not be on. There should be a different version or different class of it.
On the medications, my pharmacist changed the manufacturer of my generic medication. I still get the same medication, and it was a muscle relaxant when I hurt my back. And I've always taken it. I've been taking it for years, not now, but I've had. Well, that different medication, I decided to wait till I got home that day. I took it, and I passed out in my chair. 4.5 hours later, I'm on the ground, and I realized it was that one pill. And I've been taking it for years, but it was just that one change from the different manufacturer. So if you ever get a medication and he changed the manufacturer, wait. Don't be driving, because if I took it before I left to drive, I would have hurt myself and somebody else.
Great example.
On the polypharmacy, will we get more instructions around the questions that we will ask when Dr. McKell is here for that?
So Dr. McKell's going to do a really nice job of educating you as to the key things it takes to manage your medical condition, but also the types of medications. He'll probably let a couple of us bring our own medication list, and he'll go over the things that you need to ask your doctor and why. And the class of medications that you need to go in and ask about right now. So yeah, he'll give you, and then he's also got 20 minutes of Q&A. I went out last Friday. I get my days mixed up. I went out last week. Wasn't y'all, but it was different couple. He was off of his furosemide. It was not scheduled anymore, technically. Couldn't quite tell if he decided that or the doctor did, but he was still taking his potassium, which that's a huge no-no. You can start getting into arrhythmias and hyper and hypo, something big word. And yeah. And I just mentioned to him, I said, hey, you might not want to wait. You might want to call the doctor right now. I'm pretty sure. And he called me back later, and he goes, oh, you were right. So they took him off of it. Okay, the average error rate so far for members of St. John's, literally over 90% of the people who are over 72 with at least one chronic illness, the number of people that have had something changed is over 90% of them. When their doctors have had somebody else, when somebody asked intelligent questions about the meds. So again, I don't take Dr. Raquel's thunder. Just know that the meds themselves can become a risk. Here was an easy one, or a fun one. They just lowered the bed a little bit. So it's not as, I have a lot of seniors that are having to do a forward dive into their bed. Or worse, they have a step to get in and out of their bed. That's a huge no. I don't care what age you are, that's a no. See a lot of that. Oh, this is my wife. This guy was not good on his feet at all. And he would have to go up and down these stairs every time to get in and out of his house. So then God was there. And so he was a veteran, so we just called the VA. And she got him a lift put in, so he didn't have to do that anymore. That was really nice. Go, Amber. Yes, please.
What you were saying earlier about like the bed and getting in and out. One thing that happened with my mother, their bed was kind of high, but it wasn't so much the highness that caused this unfortunate incident. She had some really slick, shiny,
Sheets?
The sheets. And she was kind of in her early stages of dementia anyway, and she wasn't quite figuring stuff, but she was sitting at the edge of the already too high bed, and she just slid
Right on her.
Really hot.
So she just said that her mother, it wasn't necessarily the height of the bed, but she had some really nice slick sheets, and she was sitting on the edge of it. And one of the risks that we look at is how soft is the mattress and how slippery are the sheets, because we lose people statistically. It is significant. We lose enough of them that those risks are looked for. Is that you will it'll slide you off of your bed, and you get your compression fractures, or they're awful things. So, yeah.
But she recovered very well. It was amazing.
And then we have the positive, but she recovered.
But before she came home, we fixed it.
So luck is not a plan, agreed? Hope is not a plan.
But we were very pleased.
But we were very, fortunate. Amen. What you never want to see on the ground is a towel. Now, so it's already bad enough that it's a slippery surface on the outside of the shower. And now you throw a towel on it. It's like, wait, what am I doing here? So now I can trip and get my feet caught up in the towel as well as slip. So it's just such a, you want non-skid tape inside and out, blah, blah, whatever. But this is very convenient for us because I had that picture. That's real blood. That was her head. She wasn't even taking the shower. She just slipped over the towel while she was in her bathroom.
Let me tell you a joke.
A joke?
Yeah, it is a joke. The hospitals don't supply a mat when you're coming out of the shower in the hospital. So what do you think people do in the hospital? They put a towel down.
Yeah. She makes a great point. They don't even take care of you in the hospital with a lot of this. If it's any comfort, that was the assisted living where you're paying $6,500 a month. They put a towel down to trip you. Yeah.
Where's the CNA? It's supposed to be singing.
She was on her phone. She was doing stuff on her phone. If you got a loved one going into an assisted living, we can help a lot there too, or memory care to help set up the right plan for them. Y'all, most people don't know this, but the tennis balls on the back of the walker are another type of risk. They tend to wear out on one side before the other, and then it starts to drag.
And they attract dogs
And they attract dogs. That is awesome. That's awesome. They attract dogs at the park. Please tell me you just made that up.
No, I did not make that.
You've seen it where a dog...
My dog would chase tennis balls here and down.
That is spectacular. So this is one of our members at St. John's. This is as good as what we call a 3-in-1 or bedside commode gets, but it's still not. If you put, in fact, Dodie, who was our previous seniors minister for like 30 years, she never let anybody in her bathroom because it wouldn't be proper. Her all green tile bathroom, and she had a 3-in-1 over her toilet, bedside commode that fits over the toilet. And she got up at like 3 a.m. to go to the bathroom. And if you put unequal weight on one side of a bedside commode, it's gonna tip over. And that was the beginning of a 5-year horrible odyssey for her. She broke her orbital, she broke her shoulder, she broke her pelvis. You know, obviously she was in the medical center for a couple of weeks because they didn't figure out what to do with her, with all that. And then she ended up in the SNF or rehab, and then couldn't go home anymore, had to move on to a campus, and the private duty caregivers were doing awful care. It was just, all because of a 3-in-1 commode. All she needed was an elevated toilet seat with handles, the new kind that attaches through the back, which is, it's a different member. Oh, okay, there's me. I had to cut the dang screw off that thing, and she had an old toilet. But there's a wonderful little elevated toilet seat with handles that does not come off and doesn't move. Dodie would have loved to have had that and not gone through 5 years of hell because of it. That's the point people don't get. As you get older, if you will just make the accommodation, you will get years of your life back at a much higher, less painful quality of life. Abundant. You got a lot bigger chance at an abundant life. Hey, there's your contractor right there, girl. That's me. Oh, that was just a little screw I had to screw off. They're easy to put in. She just had a really old toilet.
It looks like a sword. I put one in by myself.
Say that again?
I put one in by myself.
Yeah, she put one in by herself. A lot of these solutions are just so common sense or easy if you know they exist. And they're not hard to do. And if you need a contractor, we've got one you can trust to do it for you. A lot of this stuff we can do ourselves.
Randy, in the back, when you use your big voice, everybody can hear you.
When
When
I-
you use your small voice.
All right, sorry, y'all. It's big voice only from here on. I'm sorry, it was just a little bolt that screws the toilet lid on that I had to actually go get my Sawzall to undo.
It uses, the one I put in uses no tools.
Yeah, the one you put in doesn't require any tools. It was me getting her old one off that had been there for 35 years. Guys, we're here to help. If you got any problems, we probably have a solution or two for you. You don't have to figure it out on your own, and you don't always have to execute it on your own.
Why wouldn't you put a safety bar on the wall?
So in this case, it's a good question. Why would you put a safety bar on the wall? In her case, A, she needs to be a little bit higher, so I need the elevated toilet seat anyways. Number two is if you put a grab bar, the only benefit a grab bar has is if it's in front of you and higher so you can pull forward and up. This is too close to her, so she'd just keep doing this because the bar's right here. It would have to be over here so she pulls forward and up. Just also all these little things you never even think about is if the grab bar's at the wrong angle, if you put your elbow on your table and you put your wrist down like this, put one finger in it and try and squeeze. You got no grip. If you put your elbow down, bend your wrist and grab your fingers. Because as soon as you start bending your wrist, right, the stretch of those tendons, you no longer have grip strength. So when you put your grab bars in at the wrong angle, like at an angle here, and you have to reach around and grab, now you got maybe 12 pounds of grip strength. Not a good idea. So these are just all the things that we know and understand that are available to all of us as part of the ministry. All you have to do is ask. If y'all remember from the first one, I think I used this as the example that $600,000 in Houston of Medicare dollars spent by the healthcare system, you will still have more risks than when you started. They will not impact your safety risk score. Your PTs, your OTs, your nurses at home, your doctors, nobody's even trained to address it. So get off of us. We didn't have any training. Just don't expect it. They're not going to tell you. They're going to take you for a walk, stretch some TheraBand, do some leg exercises, and leave all of your risks. Call the church, get some help. Here we go. So admissions to the hospital and pain and suffering are caused by unsafe occurrences. The unsafe occurrences are caused by, this is $23 million worth of research. 144 risks. We know exactly the risks that will cause our members pain and suffering. We know what they are. And we know all the solutions for them. All you have to do is ask. We will reduce the risk profile. We'll keep it down where you're safe. There's 3 areas of risk. You might find them in your blood pressure, your muscle strength, your pain, your knee pain. You might find them in the tasks you perform or the environments that you perform them in. It's real simple for us. 3 places we're looking for the risks. We know what they are.
So I want to give a quick story about how risk can change really quickly. So this November will be 4 years since I finished my cancer treatment. I had radiation and chemo, lost 43 pounds on this frame. I'm at the weight I was before I started treatment. So November 5th was my last treatment day. In the middle of January, I got up from my couch to go get my billfold by the garage door, the door leading out to the garage. And I passed out when I got over there. I had orthostatic blood pressure loss. Now, I bring this up to tell you, if somebody loses a third of their weight to a quarter of their weight, this should be going on in the mind of the medical community to watch out for. I had no warning for that at all. No warning. I should have had warning. I should have had PT. All of that should have been going on. But that's how easy it can be if we don't understand what the risks are and then start asking the questions and advocate for ourselves. And we're creating this ministry to come alongside you to ask those questions with you. And so that's what is going on here. But I missed the corner of a metal file box, a sharp corner of a metal file box. I hit my head on the wall, went straight down the wall, and woke up to the metal file box right here. Right there. So if I'd hit that, if I'd been just 2 inches farther to the left, major gash. And thanks to Anita, who I called while lying on the floor, and my wife, who heard me fall and came into the next room, we were able to get me kind of stabilized and then to the hospital. And then we found out I was having orthostatic blood pressure issues because of major weight loss. Information is helpful. Right.
So the 32,000 people that were involved, what percentage do you think that went to the hospital from an unsafe occurrence, what percentage of those were preventable upon review? 80%, that's good. That's good, at least 80%. At least 80%. But nobody talks about it. Nobody's talking about getting older and the challenges that come with it. That's what this ministry is for. We just need to normalize getting older and the challenges that come with it so we can get the most out of our lives and as little inconvenience as possible. So it's as simple as this, your risk profile. When it comes to safety, if you got anything over 40, you're going to the hospital. It is not a question of if, it is a question of when, if you have more than 40 risks. All we have to do is bring the number down. Don't even get to 40. Just have us out proactively like one of our amazing couples did. And we're doing a risk profile. I'll show you what that looked like in just a second. Keep it down. Let me show you what it looks like for the fire departments and for any of our members that aren't involved. So when you're below 40, and especially when you're below 24 risks, you've got the lowest chance of unsafe occurrence and hospitalization. Once you start getting up, here's what it looks like from a number standpoint. So you're over 40, it could be 35, 42, whatever. You have an unsafe occurrence, we run on you, pick you up, take you to the hospital, pain, suffering, rehab, blah, 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 you finally get back home. Well, a couple of months later, that is your new norm of risk because nobody did anything to bring your risks down. So not only do the risks that were already there still exist, you probably have a few more. So you're over 40, what's going to happen now? You're going to have another unsafe occurrence, for sure. Another unsafe occurrence, pain, suffering, ordeal. Guess what nobody addressed? Your risk profile. This is the current healthcare system, y'all. This is every state in this country. There is a clinical insufficiency. Nobody's touching it. We got tens of thousands of patients. I think we have about 180,000 now of data on. So what's going to happen now if you got 53 risks and nobody? So at some point, even the stubborn men in our lives are going to start realizing, or are the kids now making excuses to still not get involved? Somebody give me an easy excuse you make when something unsafe happens. Give me something just jabbers out of your mouth.
It'll be okay.
Huh? It'll be okay. It'll be okay. It was a one-off. It just happened. Oh, they didn't get hurt. Is a good one.
Just wait until they do.
Look, yeah. Okay? If the phone is ringing, this is your wake-up call. If you have too many risks, if you're in the game, just let's make the modifications, the little tweaks, the little common sense things, because this is what keeps happening. The number of unsafe occurrences and the frequency in which they occur keeps getting closer and closer. You're losing function and quality of life the whole time. You're putting undue strain and burden on your family and your adult children. Think about this too. When somebody's calling on you to pick you up from an unnecessary fallen call, the person that's down the street from you that has a heart attack, one of our stations that's 5 minutes further away has to call on that person for the heart attack. You just decrease their survival rates by 40%. Our call times are over 9 minutes now. Do y'all have any idea what that's doing? You know what our number one call is? By more than 2 times greater than the next category of calls. What is it? Senior fallen call. It is an epidemic. It's over $1,100 every time we leave the station. Over $1,100. In Scottsdale, it's $1,430. Every time we leave to go pick somebody up, whether we transport them or not. We spent $1.6 million on picking up people at assisted livings last year that we didn't even transport. How is any city budget going to survive that? You are not a part of the solution, you're part of the problem if you're not proactive. Okay, if you're blessed to live long enough, just make the common sense accommodations. We're here for you. So, instead of having all those awful things happen, all we have to do is keep your risk profile down, and you never even have to go to the hospital. I'm going to do that again in case any of y'all missed the amazing graphics. Okay? Ready? If you just keep your risks down there at the bottom, none of those ambulance bad things have to happen. Wow. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, here's about $20 or $30 million of research in one slide. That's it. That's what we figured out. Oh, I love it. So, we even have a right care program. The fire departments are chomping together. They're trying to get access to our ministry. The fire departments are trying to get access to our ministry. To partner with, that's right. Thank you. Give it to them. I like it. I kind of want to get it to our churches first, to be fair. But yes, we are as fast as we can. Pretty awesome. So anyways, if you just ask, you, your friends, your family, we can go out, do a quick risk profile. Watch this. Had an amazing, proactive, smart couple trying to live their best life. I'm not going to mention the name, but they're sitting in front of me. So we went out, had a wonderful, fun visit, and we tried to do this just to make it look fancy, so we look smart. But it's really all we did is this is the lowest risk score we've ever seen in an Episcopal, in about 370 Episcopal members. It's 24. Like, we didn't even know what to do with that. We're always in the 60s or 70s. It was awesome. Yeah, thank you. Way to be proactive, people. And so all we're doing is, all they need is a couple of simple ideas that will reduce literally between probably 12 to 18 risks, and they're doing it proactively. Because the lowest is, if you can get below 24, 14 is even better. Just a couple of real smart things. One thing you find, and they were actually asking, hey, what's a good idea for this? What should we do? They're right there. We had a little meeting after church last Sunday, and they're moving on them already. That easy. A couple items that may or may not have wanted, which we only needed, I think, a couple of them for now. They were also working on their quality of life, too, by the way. It was date night that night. That was pretty cute.
That's that abundant life.
That's right. That's right.
Because if you have an unsafe occurrence, it's hard to have date night.
It is. It's a
in the ER.
Y'all know one of our little sweet people down in Galveston. His real name was Ragnar, but we call him Rags. He worked so hard to get back to healthy, and after 6 weeks, he was finally gonna be good enough to go out, and it was date night. It was gonna be the first time he went out date day. We were going to lunch. He's got his girlfriend was gonna be coming with him, and we were gonna go eat at Fisherman's Wharf. Unsafe occurrence happened to him literally the day before, so we did date night at the ER. You just reminded me of that. And it was Chick-fil-A. It was Chick-fil-A. He had been recovering from something else, and the goofy people that were working with him messed up. And okay, so It's all summed up in that slide. You've got the help. We can do the risk profile for you. Better to be proactive. But once you've had a fall or you're in deconditioned state, come back from a hospital, you for sure need to call. Because we got to get your risk profile back down for you or anybody that you care about or love. We help tons of people. St. John's, all of our members, we help, they all have friends. And so they just call us and we help. We go do the same thing. So if you got friends or family, the ministry is available for them. I did one from England yesterday, day before yesterday. One of our members was in England visiting, and so we did a FaceTime walkthrough of everything, which is really cool. We were able to get down to it. Got tons of risks resolved or set up to get resolved. Okay, any questions on it? What is one of your commandments? One of your 10 commandments for getting older? I don't know if y'all remember this. It was what? Thou shalt be safe. There's no excuse for not being safe, guys. It's just a fun, friendly visit. You got great knowledge or experience to help you with it. You can call us anytime. We're glad to help. Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Is there a list you have? I mean, I realize risks are sensitive to the individual. And you mentioned some of them, like the shower and the towels and the things like that. But what are some of the major ones that you look for?
General categories.
Yeah. Okay, so here's the if I'm doing it from a church assessment, we have 144 risks that we look at. It's just these ones down the side. The problem is, like if I were to hand you a list of risks, you could make it worse by thinking you're doing something about it. When the physical and occupational therapists in home health don't know the answers and they think they're making it better, it's dangerous. And because sometimes one thing that works for one person doesn't work for another. It's a bad idea. And for another person, it's a good idea. So the solutions are very critical. And then a lot of times people think there's a risk and there's not. And they're trying to fix things that don't need to be fixed, too, unnecessarily. So I wish I could, it's always a precautionary flag when we hand out lists of risks. One other quick thing, Lance, I hope you're ready for this, is I don't know, but pretty soon there's a library. Yes. Okay, so we have a library that has a lot of these topics on it, and I'm going to go ahead and start and put all of the other modules in on it. So there's one for safety as an example. This lecture that we just did today, you can find a lot of that information right here in it. For example, what safety and unsafe, you even got Dr. McKell's quote. The definition of safety, there's 144 risks. And then we give a couple of examples. I think you'll remember that one from the first, just to get your attention. Yeah, all the time. So really good information. What's going to happen to her? Almost. That was because of physical therapy. She was using a rollator like that one. Rollators like that are only for very specific people. Otherwise, they are a safety risk. We call them fallators. We physical therapists call them fallators. They keep us in business. And we don't even know. Nobody realizes that.
But that's the Cadillac.
Yeah, that's right. But they look so cool, and you can sit down. What's really nice about them, you can put your purse and other things on them, and they're easy to move around.
Better than the old ones.
Which isn't the goal of a walker, is for four wheels, it slides away on you. Anyways, it also gives you a couple of reasons why, if you're an adult child and you haven't been getting involved in your parents' life, even though you're seeing things, we try to let you off the hook right here by describing that it's a lot of times we're just not realizing it, because it's all these little small incremental changes, or it's human nature to be motivated by crisis, or it's relational. It's not comfortable getting in your parents' business. They're our parents. They don't want us to parent them, do they? Which is why it's real important to come to the partnering with your family next week. Some real good tips. We need to partner with our parents. Don't parent them. That never works. With our children. We used to call it, until he figured this out, we used to call it, if we're sending it to the seniors, we said partnering with your children. If we're sending it to the children, we said partnering with your parents. And then he finally said, why don't we just call it partnering with your family?
Do you have access to this online library?
I was about to say that. Lance, if you will let Lance know the email that you will then get an invite to this library, okay? And all you have to do then is use your email. You'll get a Right Care invite or a gift.
We'll set up an email we'll send an email with a form. So we'll have a web form, and that will go out to the Right Care ministry team here and our support team. And so then we can get you signed up through that to have access to it, and we'll have that linked on the website as well. We'll try to get that done this week, and then you can go through and see the modules. And yes, I pulled Dr. McKell's the quote that I used in the sermon this morning from the How to Stay Safe module.
Awesome. So this is designed to be I only wanted to scare you enough to take it serious, but realize that we have a solution that nobody else has access to, so please use it. I mean, literally the church is saying, we're saying, as fellow believers, we can stop 70+% of the pain or suffering or unsafe occurrences that aren't necessary, that come with aging. So that should put a smile on your face. Just use it. Fair? Fair?
So how do you get your husband not to walk down the oak stairs in their
Socks,
at
yeah.
3 a.m. with their hands full so they can't use the rails?
I've got 9 different ways to get him to do that.
We broke his ankle, so.
He's already broken his ankle?
Yeah.
You got a stubborn one, don't you? So the good thing is, the problem with a lot of us is we don't listen to our family, our spouses, our children. Yeah, socks is a disaster. So put me in the room with him. Okay, I've got 9 different ways. He and I can have, yeah. One time, just so y'all hear it, guys, I was with St. John's member, and great marriage, they were going on 55 years, 54 years. And I said, hey, how has it been? How the 54, he goes, they've been great. I said, what would she say? And he's like, I hope she'd say the same. You know, it's just so sweet. And I said, so let me just give you a thought, because I don't think your decisions are matching your values here. I said, if you don't take that blood pressure medication and you have a stroke and you're curled up peeing on yourself and pooping on yourself for the last 9 years of your marriage, that's what she's going to remember. You know what he said? I think it's time to start taking my meds the way I'm supposed to. So just put me in the room with him. I got 9 different ways to get him to do common sense. Okay. So again, we're out here at your service, guys, as part of the ministry. We'll have more and more volunteers available as we bring this online. And then our fire departments are coming soon behind us.
Something about dog. She said her dog will chase after a ball. I was just reading about elderly people that string 3 dogs and they are taking stroll. And then the dogs just take off and they all crash. So it's something to think about.
It is. The people whose dogs, I've had multiple. I've had at least one from St. John's where the dog took them for a walk and broke. It caused them to fall and break stuff. I've had at least one from St. John's where that's happened. Yeah, fascinating. All right, good. Thanks, guys.
So this week, the email will go out again, and if you're inviting friends and neighbors, let us know that. And we also will be creating the link and the web form for you to sign up to get into the library. Okay? So,
Are we okay for pizza next week?
sure.
Do we have pizza here?
Yeah.
All right, we'll talk
With that.
All right.
So, thank you, Randy.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
All right.